everybody, Filet Mignon, your unreliable poet, coming to you from Medium Rare Poetry. The reason I'm unreliable is that here in southeast Queensland, Australia, it's midsummer and it's bloody hot. And my little studio is a mere storeroom at the back of my garage, which is not air conditioned. Therefore, it gets very oppressive when I try to record videos. However, Donald Trump has been inaugurated for his second term, and the first 2 weeks of his presidency has been utter chaos. And of course, this requires poetry to be written. So I've commenced a new playlist on my channel entitled The Chronicles of Mania, and I'm sure there'll be more to come after this. So today's poem covers the first couple of weeks of what happened leading up to and during the first 2 weeks of his presidency, and there's a little tone of Creedence Clearwater Revival to this poem, which is called Unravelling Land. Unravelling Land by Filet Mignon. Felon 47 coming out of the sky in a 747 with a long red tie, with a circus ring of phonies just to lend a helping hand, commenced his new agenda of unravelling his land. They thought that his arrival was to be incarcerated, but justice for the wealthy meant he'd be inaugurated. His first task was to pay respects to gentle Jimmy Carter, but paying was anathema to this malignant farter. His big day relocated to a warmer space indoors, the forecast far too chilly for his precious orange paws. Besides, the crowds were woeful, as his size is all that matters. If Donald only knew of this, his ego would be shattered. 100,000 folding chairs remained outside to freeze, and miles of riot fencing merely whistled in the breeze. The swearing-in performed within the Capitol Rotunda, where gangs had once invaded for democracy to plunder. Melania, obscured by an anti-shrapnel hat, was looking out of sorts beside her virile blob of fat. So out of it, she almost failed to hold aloft the Bible. She knew that this meant nothing to the Lord of Lies and Libel. And Donald dare not touch it as he took the oath of office. He feared the book would atrophy his joints of aging tophus. His orange mask looked more extreme. You'd think he was a Cuban. It would be wise to have his doctor check his bilirubin. The inaugural address was utterly devoid of tact. The state of his fair country was condemned by lacking fact. Lambasting all the positives that Biden had achieved, the nation's grandpa had the right to truly be aggrieved. The speech was rambling rhetoric, a condescending brew, devoid of any energy thanks to the auto cue. With that complete, he shuffled off to sign a raft of orders, the rule of law unravelled, and the closing of the borders. He found himself in church again, the second time this year. The bishop took the chance to whisper in his gunshot ear, beseeching his compassion for the immigrants he loathed, that they be left in total peace, their children fed and clothed. This empty vessel grasped her words, immediately transported, decrying, though not to her face, that she should be deported. You see, this ignoramus simply has a frozen heart. He can't abide compassion, never had it from the start. In just 2 weeks, revenge engaged. His voters were rewarded, their benefits retracted by a process sly and sordid. Inspectors General were dismissed and guardrails were dismantled. All checks and balance vaporised and safety nets were trampled. Co-president, the musk stick, swooned in greedy reverie. He got his creepy hands upon the keys to treasury. The nation's wealth endangered by these hungry billionaires. Republicans were silent in their overstuffed armchairs. The FBI was gutted of the folks who'd called Trump out for stealing US secrets and had smacked his porcine snout. Members of bureaucracies who would keep airspace secure were offered bogus buyouts and then tossed into the sewer. The sackings were continuous for federal employees. Countless civil servants were beleaguered on their knees. This should not be surprising, as he trumpeted his plans. He promised from the outset of unravelling his land. To show his handler Putin that he was the tougher man, he went to war with Canada through tariffs on demand. He hunted once friend Mexico and Panama pursued, not thinking that these neighbours had commanders with a clue. The pushback was embarrassing, the tough guy shown as fool. The difference with these leaders was that they had gone to school. The tariffs he inflicted led to rampant home inflation. Predictions of this outcome was consumer constipation. The presidential honeymoon, the shortest one in years. The would-be king impotent, left the populace in tears. The puppet clown controlled by Covert Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 were masters of castration. Uprisings were profuse as voters finally awoke. They forced their politicians to oppose this bilious bloke. Like Nero, he played golf while watching cities turn to starch. But Donald, keep on playing. Just beware the Ides of March. Well, blimey, what a mess. My heart goes out to all Americans and Canadians and Mexicans and Panamanians and Greenlandians and, just recently, Gazans, but we'll get to that another time. Anyway, rest assured, we will continue here at Medium Rare Poetry to keep tabs on what's going on and note it all down in a rhyming fashion. I hope you like the poem. Please like, share and subscribe, and we can spread the word that what's going on in America is not how it should be. Anyway, I will leave you for now, and I hope you have a most beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.